Well, you may have been in the market for a house, and we learned this week that it is cheaper these days to buy a house than it is to rent. But you may not think you can afford it, but actually you can. Our resident realtor, Kirsty Lumbar, is here with Keller Williams, and there are plenty of government programs out there where you don't have to put any money down. Tell us about that.
There are, in fact, for teachers and for peace officers, you can get into a home with down payment assistance. Up to 3% will be covered by this grant. So it's amazing. It's an amazing deal.
Yeah.
And the interest rate is 4.75.
That's amazing.
It's remarkable.
We haven't seen that in how many years, it seems like.
Well, even more unbelievable, if you go through a more traditional route, an FHA loan, you can get 3.5%. Oh, right here, we have a graphic. Great. Well, let's go through this. So the people that qualify are educators and civil servants. You have to be a first-time home buyer, so someone who's not owned in the last 3 years.
Right.
4.75% interest rate, 3.5% down payment assistance up to.
That's amazing.
So it's incredible. And the last part there is really important. The FICO score dropped to 620. That had limited a lot of people because the FICO scores were up higher.
Right.
And 2 weeks ago they were dropped. So a lot of people who were out of the market a month ago are back in.
Yeah, which is amazing because there are so many people who are worried about not being able to afford it because of their credit score. They qualified in every other aspect but their credit, and that's such a huge part of buying anything big like that.
It is, it is. And so my recommendation is if you were on the fence a month ago, get back in contact with your lender or your realtor and find out if you qualify now. Additionally, if you were marginal, there are things you can do. A lot of lenders will offer you a credit repair service for free, and they'll go through line by line of your credit report and tell you exactly what you need to do to get you where you need to go. And so you may end up qualifying when you didn't think you had a shot.
Yeah, and that's amazing too, especially for teachers. There's so many out-of-work teachers, and that will be out of work this semester. So that may be a good time to purchase so that they can rebuild their credit and rebuild their life long term.
Right. One thing that they'll have to be careful with is we want to ensure that they will have the money to pay for the home, and lenders are going to look at that. And so you have to make sure that you do in fact qualify for the specific loan package. But it's important to work with a professional who knows what they're doing and who can walk you through that process and make sure that you can afford the property.
There's so many realtors out there. How do you know if you're choosing the right one?
Good question. Well, I think that approach it like a job interview. Go through and look at exactly the qualifications you're looking for in a realtor. Also look at their track record. That information is available. If you go to the Texas Association of Realtors site, the Texas Real Estate Commission, you'll see how long they've been in business. You'll see what programs that they've taken, what classes they've qualified for. Additionally, talk to their broker. Their broker will tell you exactly what kind of business that they do and what kind of clients that they work with. And that way you can help with the referral process. And speaking of referrals, ask someone who's worked with someone before. Like Kirsty. Sure.
Thank you so much for being here. That's
Thanks,
such good news for so many people out there.
Happy to provide good news.
Excellent. Thank you. Well, there is more assistance out there. The City of Austin just finished construction on 12 new energy-efficient homes. They were built in the Montopolis neighborhood of Southeast Austin. Sales prices for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home is $110,000 with 0% interest and 0 down. Grant money from the state of Texas aimed at creating affordable housing paid for the homes. Now, in order to qualify, the owner has to be the primary resident. They have to have low to moderate income and be a U.S. citizen. They also have to take a home buyer education course. If you want to check out the homes, you can today. There is an open house. It's happening at 9 in the morning this morning until 1 in the afternoon at 6901 Montana Street.